I've always been tagging you guys anyway. Just smile. Okay. Should I still smile?
God used to put it right here. And
You know what? I'll take it.
I'll take this one. I don't want to rope and are we ready to order the next entrance or?
Yes, a second. Yeah,
Yeah,
second round.
Oh, round of drinks.
Yeah, second round of drinks. Same thing.
Do I have to get down? The mic is good.
I forgot you. Okay. Is it even plugged in? I will text you to text if she can't hear us. So, Rachel, check your phone to see if it now shows up on your page. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put Google Doc up on my phone so we know where to practice. Just so you know. So introduction. So, and then Crystal, me. We should bring her in and say we're a special guest. So we should have Rachel up here. Okay. Crystal, me. I'm going to give the recap. I'm going to give today's topic, and then I'm going to introduce you. As I say your name, you can sit down. How we individually know, and then me, and then we're going to. This will be a conversation. But, all right. You ready?
Hi, welcome to episode 3 of Bubbles and Besties. I'm Crystal. This is Phyllis. This is our first time doing one in person together. Yay! Yes, we're corny. But we want to welcome everyone who's been joining, everyone who's new to the. We still don't know if it's a web series podcast. We're still figuring that part out, what to call it. But welcome.
Thank you. So I'm Phyllis, as you guys know, and so last week, if you guys were able to join us, or if you weren't, we talked about our best friendship throughout the year. So all the way from teens, 20s, and mid-30s. We also had a special random guest, Crystal's sister, who just kind of popped in. So we appreciate it. And so we started talking about how our friendship was, but then how other people outside of us saw us. So we really wanted to start having guests, because as much as you guys probably love us, we want other people to talk. So if you guys ever see any of our Facebook posts, you may have realized that once a month, we go to a happy hour somewhere to eat with our lovely friend Rachel. So she was nice enough to join us tonight for episode 3 of Bubbles and Besties. So, welcome, Rachel.
Welcome, Rachel.
Hi. So,
More boots.
so Rachel, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching tonight. My name's Rachel. I've been friends with Phyllis and Crystal since the 7th grade. So just 5 years ago. But we're going to have fun tonight.
Yes. So, first I want to start off with how we individually know Rachel. I believe, again, I'm horrible at remembering how I made friends. So I believe we have a mutual friend named Veronica who I was friends with in middle school that was friends with Rachel, us hanging out all the time. That's where we kind of got there.
Yes, I think so. Yes.
I believe that's what it is.
For me, I don't know how I met you, to be honest with you. My main memory of Rachel was PE.
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was PE, and we used to skip class. But so back at Montera, no, Skyline. Yeah, we used to have 2 lunches. I don't know.
I think it was at Montera when we had to line up for PE by last names. And I think we were by each other.
Wow.
That makes a lot of sense.
Okay, So
See, this is why we need a better person.
Yes.
I think so.
Oh, because Grant.
I think so.
Okay, we're gonna go with that. Yeah, we always apparently we both had the same memory, so we always had PE together somehow. Because I was thinking of high school PE, and she's thinking about.
I think so.
Yeah. So.
And then when I was a lifeguard by your house, I would come on my breaks.
Yes.
And we hang out.
So, which is interesting. So over the years, so we all went to junior high in Montera. Shout out to Montera. And then we all went to Skyline. And as you guys know, Chris and I went to Southern California. Rachel went all the way across the country to Hampton.
Yes.
And I was just telling
Shout out to the HBC.
Yes, thank you.
And we were just talking yesterday, and I told her that I actually found a letter that she wrote to me from Hampton. Today, but I was going to bring it. And so what ended up happening is I ended up moving to Vegas and reconnecting with Rachel. So I think and then Crystal moved here.
We're missing some steps.
Okay, well, tell me about the steps.
Because the steps were once we got to high school and our friend group.
Oh,
yes. Yeah. So I think that's also where it all tied together, because I was really close to another one of our friends, Jamila, not the Jamila who someone shaded last week, a different Jamila who was on cheerleading with Rachel. And so then we were all in student government together.
True.
So it just kind of all meshed. And we had friends who were in basketball who were also in student government.
Yeah.
So it was an odd hodgepodge of activities that linked us all together.
Yeah.
And then we ended up becoming the royal
family.
So
that was our high school clique.
What was your name?
It was Queen something.
Rachel,
Sasha would
Rachel
remember.
The ruler. You know why? Because I found the picture.
You're absolutely right.
So and
You're
then
absolutely right.
Crystal was a sorcerer star.
Because my nickname is Star. I have a star tattoo.
That's true.
Now, not then. let's clarify. No underage tattooing.
And I was Queen P.
That's
always.
correct.
Today, last year, always. Just like my car's name, Queen P. I was a queen in high school.
I didn't say anything. I didn't ask you because you're next to me. Simmer down.
And now we're in Vegas.
So now we're all in Vegas. And so over the years, we've all hung out. We will talk later about how we have our individual friendships with Rachel and how that's, worked through the years. And then I think when COVID hit, we all were kind of stuck at home. And so we decided to start once a month, to just hang out with a friend.
Yeah.
And every month we go somewhere for happy hour, which is really nice to catch up.
Yes.
And exploring Vegas.
True.
Because we've been going to different places that we normally wouldn't go to.
Yes.
And just trying to find different
That's true.
happy hour places that, is
It's
interesting.
good. It's fun.
Yeah, it is fun. We're after all these years, are we exploring Vegas? Because as a local, we never really come to these places.
True.
So
Rachel, okay, so we've all talked about how we know each other. And so, Crystal and I talked about how this series has really, our goal was to kind of do something together on a weekly basis. And so you being someone that we probably hang out the most with together.
yes.
So in your opinion, and be transparent and honest.
Okay.
So how have you viewed our friendship over the years, all the way from, I would say, Montera fine, but like high school and then today, how have you saw our friendship?
You and Crystal, or all three of us?
Us two, and then we'll talk about it.
I don't call it a friendship. You guys, all of us, it's more of a sisterhood. We are family. And we've grown together. So from talking about boys in high school to now talking about work at happy hour and children and dogs.
Your fur children.
Yes.
For the record.
Yes.
I tell Rachel all the time she's the best
And
fur
Crystal
mom.
buys them gifts. She's so sweet.
She's the best fur mom I know.
But we've grown. And many friendships don't last this long because they're not real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've all heard that friends come for a reason and a season. And I think we have all played the reason. But you two are bosom buddies and I love it. And when I go out with you, I don't feel left out. So thank you. But it's levels to this shit. You have different friends on different levels. It's true. And if you don't, you might want to reevaluate your friendships with people. And I strongly suggest
who you
do.
call your friend.
Yeah.
Correct, because everyone isn't worthy of being your friend, but you two are very worthy of being my friend.
Aww.
Yes, I have lots, but there's levels to this shit. There is.
There is.
You call one friend for one thing, you'll call another friend for something else. You'll tell your secrets to one friend and share other secrets with someone else. But we've grown and I've enjoyed it. Through marriages, through divorces, through everything.
I know, I'm ready to drink on that one. Rachel has heard and seen some stuff.
I love it. And I'm looking forward to our future together too. Yeah.
And I appreciate you saying that because I think one thing Crystal and I, so we're at this airplane going over right by Los Angeles. One thing, shout out to the drink man who's behind us. Thank you. Round two. And so one thing Crystal and I were talking about is that when Crystal and I get together, we don't even have to say words sometimes.
Yeah.
And we can communicate. We are perfect. Thank you. And so we appreciate you saying that you don't feel left out because we've had situations where people have, and I think we've talked about it's because you yourself have a really tight best friend. And so you understand the different levels. And I think if you think about it, the ones who have felt left out don't have
an identifiable best friend.
And that's true. Many people don't.
Yes,
right.
And
It's
I'll
true.
also say you're very secure in yourself. That I can
That's
appreciate that.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yes.
Thank you.
So
We're giving all the roses.
I know. So let me ask you another question. So Crystal and I both identify as introverts. So if people are around us, they say sometimes that we're not, but I think is if we're comfortable, you can't shut us the hell up. But in real life,
I agree with what people say.
Yeah, but no, but, right.
I'm like swings of shade.
But I know, but if I'm in a big group, I am like, unless I'm giving a speech or something business like, if I'm just around a bunch of people I don't know, I'm like mute in the corner. And Crystal is too. We're both quiet and little accountants. So you as an extrovert, how is it? Do you feel like we're introverts around you? Do you see that different dynamic?
I definitely don't. I am an extrovert to the fullest. I enjoy talking to people, strangers and friends, and getting to know people. I'm the one on the cruise ship talking to everybody. I am. Don't have to make friends with them, but just positive conversations makes me feel good. I don't see you two as introverts, but I think that might be because I know you. And when the three of us are together, I don't feel like the only extrovert. Like we are. My best friend, Sasha. Hi, Sasha.
She's on a plane right now, otherwise she would be joining us too.
Is an introvert, and we balance each other out. I feel like I bring out the extrovert in her when we're together, depending on the situation. But it's the yin and yang.
Yeah.
And that's what makes us awesome friends. Mm-hmm.
I love that. Because when you think about it, I think Phyllis and I pull, if we're forced to, we will pull the extrovert out of each other to make sure that we're both comfortable.
And I think that's what friends should do. You don't have to change to be friends with someone. Please don't change yourself to be friends with someone. But don't hide who you really are either. Keep it real. And the older I've gotten, folks' realness comes out.
Yeah.
And I either like it or I don't. But I'm a true Taurus, so I will write you off if I don't like it. Forever.
Oh,
I will.
I'm like, I feel that.
And if I love it, I will take you in with open arms. But it's just all about growth. It is. It is. And I don't believe that people change. I think their true colors come out. And I saw your true colors 10 plus years ago. And I liked it. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah.
Shut up. Every episode. So, you are the best hype woman ever.
This is why we love Rachel. So tell us more about Sasha. So, so for those who don't know, she's Sasha. We also met junior high and high school. She went to Hampton with Rachel, and she is a high-powered lawyer.
Sasha's awesome.
So we did invite her to be part. She's on a plane, but we are going to have her on another episode. But you know, we talked about our friendship. Tell us more about like you and Sasha during the years and the differences and similarities, and what it's like to have a long-distance best friend.
Yes, Sasha and I did go to Hampton together. We were roommates all 4 years. Had my first apartment with Sasha. Living with her was good. Right.
We would have never.
Living with her was great. You know, you can't live with everybody. And sometimes living with each other can ruin a friendship.
This is why we've never done it.
Or not. Sasha is my smart friend. She is an attorney in the DC area, and she is awesome, a mother of 2 who just got engaged. Yay. Yes, she did.
Like, sorry, I was drinking.
But through the years, Sasha has taught me a lot about myself, a lot of immaturities, you know, that have come out, and she will check me on them. I don't even know if we've ever gotten in a true argument. Disagreements for sure, but we'll just talk it through. But I don't know. My memory is shot though, but I don't know. I can't recall us ever getting into an argument ever. And you guys can ask her when she comes on, but I don't think we ever have. And then after Hampton, I went back to Oakland, and Sasha remained in the DMV area, and I would go out there about 2 times a year to visit. So we kept it alive, but you have to. Long distance has been hard because before you guys got here, I would want to hang out. She wouldn't be here. So I just hang out with the Vegas folks.
Not that there's anything wrong with the Vegas
No,
friends.
there's no, I got Vegas friends too. Yes, yeah, we love y'all too. But now we just keep it alive. She actually called me the other day with her daughters just to say, what's up? And I appreciate that. I have to do a better job at making phone calls to my friends that don't live here. But I will be seeing her soon, and it's been great. But like I said, she's more of a sister than a best friend. If people ask me who my best friend was, I would say Sasha, but they know Sasha anyway. Everyone, my family, everyone knows Sasha, but she's more of a sister. I've called her for the most deepest advice. Yes, and she knows what I'm talking about, and she's always been there to help me. But she's awesome. She is. Sasha's great.
That is lovely.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
gonna cry.
just a sensitive Sally today. Well, no, because last week we talked about how our friendships are kind of like a marriage, to where you have to keep it going. You have to keep the work in. You have to actively be a part of it in order to keep it.
That is very true,
To
Crystal.
keep it alive.
And it's funny that you mentioned a marriage, because I have gone through moments with friends where it felt like a divorce, and it was very hurtful, but it is totally like a marriage. Absolutely. Absolutely. Both parties have to work. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shout out. My sister said that you're so sweet.
Thank you. How are you? Hey, girl.
So,
Thank you.
Out there.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
So on one of the episodes coming up, Crystal and I are going to talk about what you just brought up, where you have a long distance friend, but of course you as extrovert, and I call you the ambassador of Las Vegas, all things Oakland. Like whenever someone from Oakland is coming to Vegas, Rachel's like, "Hey girl, it's been 20 years. Don't you want to go out? Let me get all the people in Vegas. Let's all hang out." So, so you have close friends here that you hang out with constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Do they feel a certain way about Sasha? What does that dynamic look like? Do you feel like there's ever been an issue, in terms of the friendships that you see more often here versus you and Sasha?
Yes. But I'm the type, I'm very cautious of mixing friends. You can't mix all friends.
That is very true.
I will only mix my cool friends. But if someone is just a little different, I'll just keep them to myself. But my Vegas friends have met Sasha numerous times with events when she comes to town, and they love her. They call her, she's the sweetheart. She definitely is. But you can't bring all friends together, just like you can't travel with all friends. But when we do
hitting some topics,
when we do all get together, those that are there, it is a positive experience. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay, great.
And that makes me think of, I'm going to age us a little bit. We recently had our 20-year high school reunion. I know.
Last year.
Like 5 minutes ago. And most of the members of our royal family were there. And it felt really good. It felt really pure, because some of us don't see each other really ever.
True.
Yeah.
And this was the first time in a very, probably since high school, that we were all together.
Actually, yes. Very true.
At the same place at the same time. We went to a brunch. And I found it interesting that after 20 years, we were still able to, as a group, kind of pick up where we left off. Like, none of us are exactly the same that we were when we were 17 and 18, but our core of who we are is still very similar.
That's true.
So I felt that was a great thing to see.
Yes.
Just for myself.
Because that's because we're real.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think a lot of times people have fake friendships and have fake personas, and they believe that although we're on social media, that some people believe that social media is the end all be all of what it is.
Correct.
So they create this social media persona.
Correct.
And then when you're in person with them, you're like, you have zero substance.
Then Rachel, as your friend, is like, you lying.
Yes.
You are
lying.
Yes. And then I text Phyllis and Crystal and talk about you. Okay.
She admitted it when you didn't say it.
I didn't say I didn't say it.
So do you think that's because of high school? So sometimes when I think about friendships, I think because the ones who knew me in high school are different from people who met me like in my 30s. Because if you knew me in high school, you know some stuff about me that y'all know some, and I'm not that I'm different, but I think that I've grown and matured, and I think that you guys know stuff that other people are never going to know.
Correct.
So I think when you see someone when you went to high school, it's a little different than like someone that you haven't seen since you're in your 20s. So how do you think that played out, that when we're able to see the royal family, it's like yesterday?
It was really nice. But like I said, I think it's because that handful of us that are in the royal family are real. And so the same colors that came out in high school came out at our 20-year reunion. And that's important, especially at this age. But that was really fun. I think that we should hook up more often.
Yes.
Absolutely. You know, just trips to Oakland. We all go all the time anyway. But we should do it again because it's needed.
Yeah.
At this age, you don't have close girlfriends anymore. People are too busy working, too busy taking care of their family, but you need it. You got to hook up with your girls. You do.
I agree. Totally agree.
Yeah, we need to do it.
I do agree.
I'll work on that.
I mean, we've talked about it.
Yes.
You know, behind the scenes, we have talked, like discussed some type of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
We're still working on it.
Yeah.
That's another subject. But we're working on it. Yes. Is there anything else you want to add, Phyllis?
You have any questions for us?
Oh, that is a good point. You are here. We are live.
Well, I know that you guys have multiple friends as well. Do you have different best friends in different boxes? Like you have different levels of friendships, correct?
So Phyllis and I have a differing opinion on best friends. She
Okay.
feels as though, well, I'm almost speaking on her. I feel as though you're allowed to have multiple best friends.
Okay.
So I put Jamila, but Jamila, no, I'm saying my kindred, I call her my kindred, but I put Phyllis and Jamila on equal playing fields. I feel as though their personalities individually are mine total, if that makes sense. I'm able to do some things with Jamila that she finds boring, as far as like concerts and whatnot. She tells me I'm going to see old folks music and senior citizen music.
Retirement homes.
Yes, that's what she said. I went to go see Patti LaBelle and Anita Baker, and she was like, yes, I was probably the youngest person there.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like, I listen to it on the Spotify.
I mean, I'll go with my mom.
Right.
But the point
But
is,
Jamila enjoyed it.
Jamila would go with me.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's something that we would share together.
Yes.
Jamila and I both have multiple kids, so sometimes it's harder for us to do so. So Phyllis is more of the vacation friend that we can go do stuff. We have, you know, and we've taken our kids on a vacation together. And they're in their height of their teenage lives right now. So we're trying to make sure that they understand that they're cousins and not kissing cousins. You know what I mean? Yeah. Hey.
Not my daughter. My daughter's Angel.
She's still in denial.
She's Angel. She's gonna be Angel until she's 22. Anyway, moving on. We're talking about my baby.
Anyway, the point is, I believe that there's room enough for two best friends.
Yes.
I wouldn't call anyone else a best friend. I would say not to shade anyone, but I have tiers of friends. I have like a tier A, a tier B. Not that anyone is better than the other.
Okay.
It's just who I feel closest with, who knows my family the most, who, you know, in a bind, I would trust with my kids.
Absolutely.
You know, those types of things. So I feel that there's levels to friendship.
There is.
Yeah. I think you can have multiple best friends. No, let me clarify. You can have multiple friends. Jamila is someone we knew high school and before. I don't think that do you consider anyone here in Vegas your best friend?
Yes.
Are they on the equal level of Sasha?
No.
Okay. Because Sasha is more like a sister.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So I think that you can have multiple best friends, right?
Get stabbed.
But I think that in essence, it depends on when you met them.
It does.
So like you're talking about someone that we all met at the same time. But you ain't no new person gonna come along, and I saved her life. Okay, let me tell y'all a story.
Okay, for the record, last week my mom wanted to bring this up while I was in Oakland. She said, "You need to let everybody know that Phyllis was there for you." I got it.
I was playing poker at the Aria. I was at the final table.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, I was.
She was at Aria playing poker. Yes. Now, was she at the World Series of Poker?
I didn't say I was. I was at the final.
Was she at the $1 million table? I don't think so.
Anyway, excuse the story. I was at the Aria playing high stakes poker in a tournament, which had a $45,000 win. And there was only 2 tables left, which means I was really close to the money. She called me. She couldn't even talk.
Oh.
I would have won, or maybe I wouldn't have won. Maybe who knows how it would have happened. I would have won some money because I always make the final table. I stopped what I was doing. I came to her apartment. She was laid out because her appendix had burst.
Oh.
It
hadn't burst yet.
I carried her to my
She
car.
did not.
See my muscles.
She did not carry me. She helped me walk to the car.
I carried her to my car, took her to the hospital, and waited with her, called her grandmother, shout out to Granny, but nobody else would. So anyway, I won't tell that story no more. So I don't think none of you
got a gift card. My grandma gave you a gift card.
Oh, she does. I said shout out to
That's
Granny.
what I'm saying.
So none of her new friends would ever do that. They ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be like, oh, well, call Phyllis. Whenever something happens to Crystal. So anyway, we won't move on to that. But no, I think you can have, I have a really, really close friend here who knows me very, 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 Lauren.
Hey, Lauren.
Who knows me very, very, very well. And I think same thing. It's like you have different things you can do with different people. Yes. Like Rachel's my travel buddy. Hardcore, we can go travel. I like Crystal, you got plans.
Like just call me. I'm
Rachel, I'll be like, hey, you want to go to Dominican Republic? And she tells me in a month, this is the cost. Go, we got to go. We'll figure out all the details later. And Rachel's like, sure, just let's go. Like, because when you I got one child, and so it's a lot easier. And she likes travel. So you do have different things that you do with different people, which is a blessing. But, yeah.
And all of these people need to know their roles.
Yes.
They do. Because you don't want to hurt feelings to those who think they might be your bestie. And they're not. So you can't treat them the same. They have to know their roles.
Yes. I love it.
It's true. You don't, I love you. You're my friend. You know? Yes. I was just thinking about the Vegas people that you spoke of, that you asked about. Yeah, they need to know their roles, and they do, and stay in their lane. But yes.
Remind me to never get on your bad side.
I had a question about that, but I'm gonna leave that. What if they don't know their lane? Like,
then that's your fault.
But do you say, hey, such and such, you only in this lane?
No. For example, you're not doing monthly happy hours with them. You're not calling them after work daily. You know, I'm inviting you to special occasions, but not my wedding. You know,
is that a nugget of dropping of the wedding is coming?
Right.
No.
I better.
Damn.
No.
My flower girl is aging out the system.
You better be watching too.
Oh, should we shut up? Can we shut up?
Yes, we can.
Oh, watching. She said she wants a 15-karat diamond platinum ring.
And I mean, since we're here, your team really sucked last week. For the record, and you can spread that along. Anyone who ties with the Lions, yeah. Okay. Shots fired. Sorry.
See, Crystal and Phyllis are the football friends. You know,
yes.
Me, if there's a pool at the event where they're watching a game, I'll go to that. But they, you got to know your role. I won't ever expect them to invite me to a Raiders game, but my feelings aren't hurt because that's not me, you know? I'll just rock the gear and that's about it, but don't waste your ticket on me. It's okay. But we did the awesome tour. That was great. Phyllis did invite me to that and I liked it. But there's levels. I think I'm gonna get a shirt made.
There are, but you
shout out to my pending hopeful shirt.
But that goes to because I think if you actually have a best friend, you understand levels. I think I've experienced people who don't have a technical best friend
or really close friends because some of the things they do, you have no one in your life telling you how wrong you are right now.
Yes. And I think if you don't have that, I think having like a best friend who, when you're wrong, they can tell you and you don't feel a certain kind of way. Like there are some people where I'm an Aries, I'm very blunt, and it's just like
yes, you are.
Yes, I am. And it's like if you know me, I don't mean any harm by it. You know what I'm saying? It's just me being bluntly honest. I'm like, I'm gonna tell you so someone else is gonna say it behind your back, so I'm gonna tell you to your face. I'm that type of person. And and but if you don't know me, like if you don't know me, you think that I'll be me. Or if
Yes.
Yeah.
Because there are people who think
People will think you're
who
mean.
think that
Yeah,
I'm a bitch.
and me too.
I mean, who think
Yeah.
probably all of us who think
Yeah,
we're a
it's
bitch
true. Yeah,
because
it's true.
we're just honest.
Yeah.
Like I am probably the most sugarcoating person in this little trio right now.
Not with
I'm
me.
definitely
No, not with you, but with other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have time.
But you know, but when I take that sugar off, when this, because people call me a sour patch kid.
I think to me, okay, I think I would say Rachel. I don't think Rachel's sugarcoats. I think Rachel's super sweet, but then behind your back, she'll say some stuff to her real friend.
But like you, I will say it to your face.
Yes. So
Yes.
I think
So
like
it
on
won't be
real
a surprise.
friendships, it's like you know who that person is.
Yes.
And I know for me, if I feel like I've been too blunt with people, I'll call them later and be like, hey, I may have said that wrong. And they'll be like,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I've done that. I've called you before
Yeah.
and said, I don't know if you took this that way or not, but
Good.
you know, I was having a bad day or whatever
Good.
happened.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that
But you have to
know.
do that.
Yeah.
And also, I've had this conversation with a best friend. When you talked about criticism to your friend, you have to be honest with them. And as your friend, we love you.
Right.
Yes.
So I'm not saying these things to hurt your feelings. I'm saying these things, I'm your friend, and you look a damn fool right now.
And you want to be better.
you know,
you want your friends to be better.
For years, I think that I can work on my delivery.
Okay.
You know, it may come across as being rude or critical, as opposed to loving. So I need to work on my verbiage sometimes. It needs to
I
be.
mean, you don't really do that much fucked up shit. Excuse
Oh,
my
I
language.
get-
That Rachel needs to check us on.
Not at all.
Like whenever she says stuff, I'm like, I don't see that about you.
Thank you.
I don't.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna have a little pause. We're gonna say Veronica did reach out. She said Rachel don't sugarcoat shit.
That's all I was like, no.
For the record. And my mom is on here saying that she's glad that we have each other. So
Oh,
that's very sweet. Thanks, Mom.
thank you. Thanks, y'all. And yes, Veronica's one of those friends that does know me and has known me for years. And like I said, I can work on that. I don't want to sugarcoat things, but I think that I can deliver it in a nicer manner.
Here's the thing, right? Let's just be real. Okay.
But I'm a bull.
Two of us.
Yes.
Right. I'm Aries. Take it or leave it.
A ram and a bull.
Like,
You got a poor,
yeah.
a ram. I'm
Yeah,
like,
right.
you got a poor little goat over here. Just like,
We will kick your ass.
It's like at this point in our lives, I'm not changing. She's not changing. She's not changing. And I think that's why it's like, if you love me, you love me. If you don't, life goes on.
Right.
We are amazing. Would you like to be on camera, sir?
Oh, I thought you were going to know.
I know.
Drink guy came over. But yeah, okay. So, in interest of time, do we have anything else?
No, but thank you very much for having me. I think it's awesome that you guys are doing this every week. I love it. I love it. Keep it up, and I'll be tuning in next week. You guys tune in next week. Tune in every week. Make sure you do. And thanks for watching.
Yay. So I'm going to talk about, we, as you can see, we got to jump around a little bit. So
we haven't nailed down the sticking to a structure.
So for the rest of 2021, we will be on Wednesdays.
Yes.
And so we do have some fun upcoming guests. One thing that Miss Lathina asked about was guy and women best friendships.
Oh, awesome.
So Crystal and I individually reached out to our guy best friends.
I wouldn't call him my
I'm
best
sorry.
friend.
Our guy male friends that have known us the longest.
Yes,
So both
yes.
of them have known us 20 years.
Let's go back a little.
Or
further.
hers is like 50 years. But
No,
mine
it's,
is, I'm
I have a male best friend. I told him he's going to be the man of honor. His name's Kenny. I met him in college.
Yeah, we know Kenny.
No, not that Kenny.
Oh.
sorry if you're
I
watching
mean, but
Kenny.
no, if you're
Not
watching
that
the Kenny that I
This is
know.
Kenny from Hampton. But I told him he's gonna be my man of honor.
Well,
in my wedding.
we
So
gonna
guy
have,
best friends are that
we're going to have
haven't
the
slept with.
other Kenny, the
Exist.
Vegas Kenny on because I like that Kenny.
Yeah, he's cool.
He was
Yeah.
He's a sweethart. Yes.
Yeah. So
Too many Kennys.
so we'll have two Kenny's on it. So we're gonna be interviewing them, which has been a fun conversation. You can talk about that.
Yes.
And then we also have we talked about friendships that were either interracial or if you don't look alike, as you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What? So
Okay.
so we have a friend who me up. So we talk. So like Crystal is light skin. I'm obviously a chocolate goddess.
Thanks.
And so someone asked about how does that play in our friendship, and then we have a friend who's she is Caucasian and Hispanic. And so if you have friendships of different races, how does that play, especially in today's climate where there's such high racial tension? So, this is fun.
Interesting.
Yeah. So we really want to start talking about some real fun stuff. So we're going to be on every Wednesday at 6:30 until December 29th. Okay. So we're, Crystal is turning the big
We don't need to talk about that.
2-0. And so we're all
21.
Okay. She turned 21.
Thank you.
Whatever. Anyway, so we're going to be in Dominican Republic. Oh, sorry. And so we will be having a big group of us, and that'll be on Thursday.
I would say big.
5 is good. That's bigger than this.
Okay. A group.
Anyway, so we're going to have a bunch of us then. So, like I said, this is just something fun. If anyone wants to join, we'll start calling out people. But thank you so much for tuning in. We literally have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 drinks on the table. So we appreciate you guys all.
We've got some drinks that need to be finished.
For tuning in. We didn't say, so what are you drinking?
I just have a red wine here today. Keeping it simple.
I have water with a little colored water.
She alive.
She got a Cosmo.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I have a white peach sangria. Yes.
So next time.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.